It's a silver fox office for the box office foxes. It's a silver fox office with Elsie and Mike.
Kia ora, welcome to the Silver Fox Office, where we're on a quest to find the foxiest old guy in cinema. I'm Elsie.
And I am Mike.
Aren't you just?
I am. All my life.
Also, surprise, what are we doing here?
Surprise bonus episode!
You didn't expect to see this?
Wow, we didn't hint about it at all.
At all. We were so good and careful keeping secrets, because you know we're really good at not telling you guys everything about our lives.
Yeah. We did have to take... We're recording this on the same day as we recorded the last one, and we did have to take a bit of a break to...
Because my hands are sticky. Hold on.
Excuse me?
I said to Mike, I was like, I'm going to have to borrow your funny pocket so I can wash my hands. My hands are sticky. And I had to explain that if you listen to the Christmas episode, you know that we had our office Christmas party yesterday.
Yeah.
And I drank some alcohol. And as a result, every time I drink alcohol, the next day my hands are inexplicably sticky,
A sticky little grubby hand.
clammy. So that's the explanation to that one.
Yep. But also we did have a full-on breakdown at the end of the last episode, I think.
Lost the plot.
Okay, so
My apologies, Mr. Farrell.
that's all right.
You'll have to listen to the Christmas episode
Yeah.
to know what that one means.
Yeah. So this is not our Christmas episode. This is our New Year's episode.
It's a New Year's episode.
Yeah,
We're
so
bringing in the
this
new
is-
year.
So thank you for joining us. We thought we'd do something special and exciting for this.
Yes.
What are we doing here today, Elsie?
Thank you for asking. We thought that we would do something reminiscent of if you remember our Halloween time, we did a bonus episode,
Bonus.
which was ranking the slasher films, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mhm.
And then we decided that we'd do a little bit of a ranking one, but different. We are going to let you know our favorite films of 2024. So these are films that were released in New Zealand
Yeah.
in 2024 that we watched and we enjoyed. And then we'll go from 10
Yep.
all the way up to 1 and just bring you along on the journey.
Yeah. Obviously, we have not managed to see every single film that has come out this year. I'm sure Elsie has come pretty close.
I do my best.
You do your best. So, for instance, I have not seen Wicked yet. So Wicked will not be in my list. Whereas I feel like if I had seen it, maybe it would be.
Could be.
From what I've heard. So, if your favorite movie of 2024 is not in our list, maybe we hate it, or maybe we haven't seen it.
Maybe just message us and let us know.
Yeah.
And we can watch it.
We'd love to hear your top 10s as well.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
And then, as usual with episodes, we'll do a few bonus. We'll do a few honourable mentions.
Yeah. And again, I think this is based on how much we enjoyed it, not
Yeah.
necessarily how good the film is.
Exactly.
So,
I think that's a really big part of not just this, but our podcast as a whole.
Yeah.
How much fun did we have?
yeah. Although it could be mutually exclusive. Who knows? I realised I just had my list sitting there in full view
I
of
didn't
you.
see it. I haven't got
You
my
could have been
glasses
doing
on.
little peeky boos.
I have not got my glasses on. Okay.
So, who wants to start?
Paper, scissors, rock.
Paper, scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, rock. Paper, scissors, rock. Okay, so we both went rock, and then I went paper, and Elsie went scissors.
So does that mean I start?
I think you start.
Okay.
And these are all films that have come out 2024.
2024. And you'll notice I said come out in New Zealand before. Sometimes New Zealand gets a film released early. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes a film will be out in America in 2023, but we don't get it till 24. However, I have gone off of whether Letterboxd says that it came out in 2024.
Yeah, if Letterboxd says 2024, I've said it's 2024.
Same here. So my number 10 on this list is going to be a controversial take for our Mike, but I have said Osgood Perkins' Long Legs.
Ah, okay. Nice.
I actually enjoyed that film.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about it briefly.
We've talked
on the
about it
pod.
about. I liked it. I didn't dislike it at all.
What I actually really liked, and this may be controversial for some people, I liked the hype that everyone built up around it beforehand. Do I think it necessarily stood up to all the hype? Questionable. But I liked that we were getting scared about horror movies again.
Yeah. I think for me, the first half was really effective
The
and
first
really
half was
scary.
Brilliant.
Really, really good. And then it lost me in the second half.
It's been out long enough that I feel I can talk about this without spoilers, but if you don't want spoilers, maybe block ears and go la 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 for
Yeah.
like 2 minutes. If it hadn't have been Supernatural, I would have liked it even more.
Yeah, I wanted it to be more Silence of the Lambsy.
I wanted it to be that there was just this weird fucking guy
Yeah,
that was getting into people's ears and convincing them to kill their families.
yeah,
And if that had been what it was, I would have thought it was like a 5 out of 5.
yeah,
I personally am not a huge fantasy or sci-fi or anything like that supernatural type person. I find things at their scariest when it's entirely human.
yeah,
So what I really liked was in that first half, he was fucking weird and he was creepy, and I was fully prepared to believe that he was just finding a way to do all of this.
yeah,
And I also think in that film, the scene where he goes into the hardware store and he's behaving really odd to that girl, and then she calls out to her dad and it's like, he's here again. I think that that's a really subtle, I think it's a subtle thing to do in horror, but I really liked it because if you've worked in retail, you have had these weirdos that have come up to you
yeah.
and behaved oddly, and you always assume like, oh, they're harmless. But then
Sometimes they're not.
you always worry that they're not, and you've just like encountered somebody that is less than good. So I think there were definite aspects of that film that were really good, and I like how scared I was.
Yeah,
I was genuinely, first time I saw it twice in cinema, first time I saw it, I was on the edge of my fucking seat, and the whole scene at the start where she's outside in the snow and then like the only music is like the little like blink of the strings.
yeah,
I was so scared,
yeah.
and I really liked that for a horror. Um, so yeah, it's at the end of my list, but I was a fan of Long Legs.
I mean, I'm kind of the opposite to you. I tend to prefer supernatural stuff.
Interesting.
But I agree with you that I think that if this had stayed in the realm of realism, or even if it had like just hinted at a supernatural thing
Yeah.
rather than being explicit,
Rather than confirming it.
that would have been great. That would have been a sweet spot. But I think that, yeah, it just,
It definitely lost me at the end.
the
First half
build up
was
was
crazy.
so good, and then it just didn't go anywhere with the build up.
Also, Micah Monroe did a great
She
job
was
at
really
playing
good.
that autistic little FBI agent.
She was the scene with her in the bedroom talking to the kid was very funny
It was very,
and very good, accurate. Yeah,
in the scene where she's alone in her house and she can like hear something outside,
yeah,
and she goes looking and she leaves the door open. It was one of the most like, I was so scared that I was starting to feel like sick, like my stomach was turning. And yeah, and I know it may sound like I'm freaking jerking Longleg's dick right now, but I mean it when I say it was a good horror film. It could have been better, but I still think it was good. And I think a lot of people were overly critical on it because I think that sometimes people think things need to be perfect.
yeah,
It was a good film.
yeah.
Mike, what's your team?
My number 10 is the movie Flow, which I've talked about before.
Oh,
It's the
yes.
animated film about the animals on the boat in the flood.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest, I was really surprised by number 10, 9, 8, and 7 on my list,
Okay.
that they were on there. Because I was like, yeah, this is a banner year. This was a really good
Yeah.
year for movies. And I think the top 6 on my list, I love. I think
Yeah.
they're really good. And the rest are there because I'm kind of like, well, I just prefer them to the others. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily that I was super passionate about them as films. So that's why Flow's on there. It was cute. It was sweet. It made me feel nice things.
That's what you want from a film.
Yeah.
It's
So yeah, I've got nothing really else
Nothing
to
more to
talk
say.
about it. Like it's fine. It's good.
It's a good film,
It's a good film. It's nice.
and that's enough.
Yeah.
My number 9 is I can definitely call it a film.
Oh God.
No, and this is a surprising one, but I spent so long telling so many people about it and telling so many people to watch it that I have to bring it up. It's the documentary The Greatest Night in Pop about the
Oh
creation
yes.
of the We Are the World
Yes, you
song.
talked about it on the podcast.
I talked about it on the pod. I really liked that film.
Mm-hmm.
Documentary. I really liked it.
Documentary's a film.
Yeah, I like a documentary just as it is, and I like the fact, and I said this on Letterboxd when I reviewed it, I like the fact that we can sometimes, if somebody was filming at the right moment, just see history being made.
Yeah.
And I think it just had such an influence on like music, and
Mm.
the fact that they brought in some of the greatest musicians to ever exist.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those people, as far as like status and stardom, still there aren't anyone out there like them. So I really liked it, and I told everyone to watch it. And if you did watch it, thank you. But no, I really enjoyed it, and I had so much fun watching that. And it was a film where I had my phone next to me on the couch and I didn't pick it up once.
Oh, that's a good sign.
That's often how I can tell.
Yeah.
Like I watched it at home, and I at no point was like, I'm picking up my phone.
Yeah. From are you a millennial or are you Gen Z?
I think I'm Gen Z.
Oh. For
Well,
millennials or Gen Zs, that's a big sign.
it's a big thing. So I was
Yeah.
quite proud of myself.
Well done.
What's your 9?
Beetlejuice.
I was thinking about putting it on the list. I'm surprised you put it on the list.
Again, like I said, these bottom 3 are ones that more just, or these bottom 4 are ones that are more just there because they're there. I did enjoy Beetlejuice. It didn't match up to the first one, but there was that nostalgic fun to
It
it.
was fun. Jenna Ortega was a great addition.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm being really boring. I don't have a lot
No,
to say
it's
about
fine.
it.
I thought it was fun. I liked the, I mean, we have talked about it on the pod as well.
Yeah.
I like the references back to the original one without overdoing it.
Mm.
I agree with a comment you made when we first talked about this, was there was a lot going on.
Too many villains.
Too many villains, too
Too
many
many
plots.
storylines.
Yeah. But it was a fun film.
I think that, like, if it had gone through a couple more edits and refining,
Hmm.
I would be proud to have it in that spot on my
Yeah.
list. Whereas right now I'm kind of like, I've got,
Yeah.
like, it's there out of process of elimination. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily feel like it should be.
Yeah. That's
But
good.
yeah, it's there.
It's there. It's definitely a film. 8 for me was the movie Gladiator 2.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I actually liked that film. I think what made me like it a lot was I'm not a diehard fan of the original.
Hmm.
Because I think if you're a really big fan of the original, you might not be a big fan of it.
I've seen mixed responses to it.
Yeah. I love Paul Mescal.
One of the complaints that I heard about it, just talking about complaints of your film that you've
Yeah,
put on your
thanks. No, that's
best
fine.
list. I'm like, yeah, so what I hear
Yeah,
is shit.
what I heard.
One of the things I've heard a couple of my female friends complain about is that there's not enough female gaze in it. And like if you're casting like Denzel Washington and Paul Mescal and who's the
Pedro
other hot
Pascal?
one? Yeah, Pedro Pascal. Like it should be more like almost look at how sexy these men are, but
We might have watched a different film then.
I've heard it's more like male fantasy kind of thing on it.
Oh, maybe. Well, I see, the thing is, if you're making a film about gladiators, I think that is the ultimate male fantasy, is to become a gladiator.
Exactly.
I honestly,
God knows I want to get in there with the other oily men.
I thought when I was watching it that I thought it was very sexy. Like,
Okay.
there's a scene where, I might have talked about this already. There's a scene where they're practicing rowing, right? And on this big, like, ye olde
Rower.
rowing machine. And Paul Mescal like mouths off to the guy. So his punishment is that he has to do it on his own. And he is shirtless, sweaty, pushing this massive like rowing oar, and he's grunting and he's like
Oh.
shoving it back and forth. And I was sitting there like, oh my God, is this legal? And I made like my review of the film. I was like, everything Paul Mescal does in this film is borderline pornography. And somebody replied to that comment and was like, he wears a potato sack for like 90% of it. And I was like, and he had that shit on. Like, it doesn't matter what he was wearing. I thought it was very sexy. I think Paul Mescal is crazy sexy.
Okay.
And I think so is Pedro Pascal. And I just liked the film. I've seen a lot of complaints about historical accuracy.
Oh, I don't give a
Knows how
shit
I
about
feel
that.
about that.
No.
That's so stupid. I thought it was a fun film.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Nice.
It's your 8.
Doc of Chucky, which I've spoken about before.
Oh, yes.
The Doc of Chucky I love.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I feel like it's silly to have it on my top 10 list,
No,
but
not
I
at all.
loved that film.
Good.
So it's one of those ones very much that I put on there with the view of I love this film.
Yes.
Even though it probably doesn't deserve to be in a top
That
film.
was me with
it's
Greatest Night of Pop.
It's in my top film. I love it. Just really going in depth on the Chucky franchise.
Which, if
and-
you're a fan, that's everything you want from a documentary.
And like they had most of the cast come back, and it's just it's just so cool.
That's perfect.
It was just so cool. So yeah, that's my number 8. I love a documentary. I love a film documentary. I love Child's Play and Chucky. So
Beautiful.
it just ticked a lot of my boxes.
Oh, I love that. My 7 is Wicked.
Okay.
It seems low on the list, but I had some others that I just really liked.
Mhm.
And I had to put higher. If you listen to the last episode, you know this. I really enjoyed Wicked. I thought just as a film, it was a good film. I think the cast is very well suited. Cynthia Erivo is a brilliant Elphaba. Ariana Grande is the perfect Glinda to me.
Hmm.
I thought Jonathan Bailey as Fiero, he was so sexy. And even like Ethan Slater, I know from all like the, all the drama surrounding that, he's a good Bok.
Yeah.
He is fun.
I'd give him a bot.
Oh, honestly, I was starting to understand
Yeah.
Ariana Grande's ways.
He's a good looking fella.
And he is so fun in that film. And when they're at the Ozdust and they're, dancing, and he's dancing with Nessa Rose, and there's this whole choreographed scene where he's dancing, and she's obviously in her wheelchair and she's spinning around and everything. I thought it was really fun and dreamy and everything. And I think one of the cool things about Wicked is it's like meant to be a little bit like, well, it's meant to be very weird. Nothing
Yeah.
really makes sense. All the language is weird and all of that, and it's just is brilliant. And Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum, fantastic.
Very sexy, both of them.
Very sexy, both of them.
It's a sexy cast.
It's a sexy cast. It's a really sexy cast. Like
Yeah.
everyone's really into it. And also Bowen Yang, who is in the current SNL cast.
Yeah.
He is so funny, and it's like that. Where obviously it's scripted, it has to be, but it's very reminiscent of his humor on SNL and stuff. He's very quick with it, and it's a good film. Recommend Wicked.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, yeah, you do. What's your 7?
Alien Romulus.
Oh, okay.
Surprised me how high up this was. So
I remember you saying you quite liked it.
I really enjoyed it, but I gave it a relatively low ranking on Letterboxd because of the weird as fuck AI Ian Holm replica face. It's just weird.
Yeah.
If they'd had it as a cameo, it would have been weird, but I would have gotten over it.
Yeah,
But
you
he
could
was a
have moved through
major villain, a major character,
Which is
and it just
crazy.
ruined it for me. But everything else about the film, I loved. I thought
Yeah.
it was so atmospheric, so spooky.
Brilliant.
Really fun. Like it wasn't so dour, and
Nice.
it was a great film. And then I just got so upset with the Ian Holm stuff.
Which can really take over. AI in film can
it
really
does.
fuck you up.
So I was really conflicted about having this on the list at all, but I enjoyed myself so much with it for
And
the
that's
most
what-
part.
If you enjoyed yourself, it deserves a place.
Yeah, exactly.
But ban AI in films.
Ban fucking
AI in general.
creepy, ban AI in general, but also ban creepy grave robbing. Like they take Ian Holm, who is an incredible actor,
Yeah.
incredible classic performer, and they morph his face onto this body, and it makes his eyes look so dead, and makes his face look. It makes him look like he's not acting well.
Yeah.
It looks like bad acting.
Which is a real disservice to a man of his caliber.
So disrespectful to take a really good actor who's really good at making things seem really natural and making him just wooden. It's so upsetting.
I always think about Chance the Rapper, the musician, and if I remember correctly, he has a tattoo on his body that says something along the lines of, "In the event of my death, you do not have my permission to posthumously release any of my music." And it came off the back of a lot of, people releasing deceased artists' music because like, oh, everyone deserved to hear this and stuff. And it's like that was their work. If they're not here to release it or whatever, then we don't need to hear it.
That's it. And I'm sure there are lots of authors who have written stuff.
Well,
I mean, Stephen King obviously is a machine and writes so much stuff. So he's going to have heaps of trunk novels that he hasn't released. And like he made a decision to not release them.
I always think of Harper Lee when they released Go Set a Watchman.
Yeah.
And she apparently had dementia at the time.
Oh, really?
And when they like released it, all the stuff came out later that was like actually it was unsure whether she had, and I might not be quoting this correctly, whether she had intended to release it because she she had dementia. She was
Mm.
potentially not of sound mind when it
Yeah.
was released. So I think unless it's a conscious decision by the artist or the creator to release that stuff or to feature in that
Yeah.
film, fucking don't feature
No.
them in the film.
And it's like his wife gave permission, his widow gave permission, Ian Holmes, but it's just not.
It's weird. It's weird. I've always been weird on that topic.
I don't like it. Yeah, but everything
The
else
film
about the film
itself.
I really like, so that's why it's number 7, despite its one very significant flaw.
Yeah. My number 6
Yeah.
is a random film I happened to watch in the middle of the year and really, really liked. And that film is Drive Away Dolls.
Okay, I've
It's-
not heard of this at all.
It's an Ethan Coen film, as in one half of the Coen
Mhm.
brothers. It stars Margaret Qualley, and I'm going to need to bring her up so I can pronounce her name correctly. Her name is Geraldine Viswanathan.
Okay.
I'm hoping I've pronounced that right. And it's essentially about these two, and I believe they're both lesbians.
Disgusting.
Oh,
Vile.
God. It's also got Beanie Feldstein in it, and it's got Pedro Pascal in it at the very start.
Also a very hot cast.
Very hot cast. Matt Damon's in it. And
He's still hot, despite the fact that he was using the F
F
slur
slur
up until like
his kid was
last
like,
year.
Dad,
Yeah.
stop it. So Geraldine and Margaret Qualley's characters need to travel cross country, and so they use a drive away service, which is essentially you take a car from one location, then drop it off at the next. And what happens along the way is they end up with this briefcase that contains dildos, and turns out one of these dildos is a replica, or like these dildos are replicas of important people's penises. It's
Okay.
so crazy.
like this is Ernest Hemingway's penis.
Not
This
so much-
is
it's-
George Bush's penis.
Yeah, more on the George Bush. Like at the time, it's like it would have, like if it had happened, yeah, in the early 90s or late 90s, it would have been like, this is Bill Clinton's penis.
Right, yeah, okay.
This is George Bush's penis. But, anyway,
Obama's penis.
Well,
I had a sex dream about Obama once.
lucky, me next.
He had the biggest penis, but like not like it was the size of my leg. Like it, like monstrously huge.
Have you watched Fleabag?
No.
So in Fleabag, she ends up breaking up with her boyfriend in part because he caught her masturbating to one of Obama's speeches. And I've never felt more seen in my life. That man is
Obama was hot.
sexy. I get that he also
As a war criminal.
is a
but-
war criminal and, committed a lot of offences that we can't talk about, as do all American presidents, as it would seem.
Yeah.
He was the sexiest president, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I don't remember when he wore that tan suit and everyone went crazy about it.
If Kamala Harris became president, she would maybe become the
Oh yeah,
sexiest
she
president
100
because-
would knock him off the post.
Anyway,
But yeah, this film is very raunchy. There's a scene where they end up with like a women's soccer team in somebody's basement, and they play this game where they all go around in circles making out with each other, and then the timer will go off, and then they'll make out with the next girl, and da da da.
I want to play this game.
With the All Blacks.
I mean, I don't know who the All Blacks are really, so I'd just be like, all right, hello.
It's
They'll put them in their place. They'll be like, hey, you know who I am? And I'm like, not a fucking clue,
yeah.
mate.
I don't know.
Take them off.
I don't care. Drop your shorts. I don't care. Get it out.
That's basically me. It's my grinder bio. I don't care, whip it out.
Yeah, whip it out.
That's not true. Do you know what my bio,
Oh my god.
my grinder bio was?
What? I was scared.
I'm like a wild animal in the bedroom because I'm more scared of you than you are of me.
Like a wild animal in the bedroom. Any loud noise and I will piss myself.
Yeah, I flash at 5 is intense.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh. So yeah, this movie.
Yeah. That sounds fun.
It's actually very fun.
Is it like a sex raunchy
It's
comedy?
everyone knows I love a sex comedy.
Absolutely.
It is a sex comedy. It's very raunchy. It's very naughty. There are like lots of sex scenes or self-sex scenes. Masturbatory scenes. Margaret Qualley is like really outgoing, and she's a bit of a fuck girl, and she's like really she's really forward with it. Geraldine is a lot more reserved, a bit more nervous. It was a really fun film,
Okay.
and I don't think I realized at the time that it was an Ethan Coen film, but then like thinking back on it, I'm like, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend everyone watches Drive Away Dolls.
Okay. It sounds fun.
It was really fun.
It sounds really entertaining.
It's a good one. What is your 6, Mike?
Um, I was thinking at the start doing a list, and this would be like the number 6 may surprise you. But this is also where I'm starting to be like, yeah, this is my list.
We're in.
Number 6 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
The look you gave me, like a startled deer, the monkey movie.
So, really quick, my first time ever seeing a Planet of the Apes movie was it must have been 2017, where my workplace did a fundraiser, so I went to see it, and I'd never seen one before, never been exposed to them or anything. And halfway through it, I leaned over to my coworker and said, "Why are the monkeys talking?"
Which one was it? Which?
I don't remember. I think there was one that came out in 2017.
Okay.
And then I went home and my dad gave me like the full in-depth rundown history of Planet of the Apes.
Did you watch them?
No.
Okay.
I think the first one, from what I've heard about the first one, the plot twist, I think that's a really cool concept because like nobody saw it coming when it first came out. But how was this one?
So Planet of the Apes, the franchise,
Mm-hmm.
I got the boxed set on VHS at the same time I got the boxed VHS set for Star Wars, for the original
Oh my
trilogy.
God.
So those movies are the same level of adoration for me. I love
Right on
I love them. I grew up with them. They are like
fun.
core movies to me. So I regularly will go through and watch the whole series. Number 3 is a particular favorite, Escape from the Planet of the Apes. My favorite in the franchise. Yeah, that's the title. But so I'd never seen the new ones until last year, or maybe even this year. Yeah, I think it was this year. I watched all of the new ones in preparation for Kingdom.
There's a James Franco, Freda Pinto one, isn't there?
Yeah, and the new ones are fine. They're not quite as good as the originals because they don't have the camp.
Yeah.
The camp is such an essential part of it.
It's a real big part of it.
Campiness is so fun in the movies, and also the ever decreasing budget really adds
perfect. You need that sometimes.
Charm. And so, like, I went into Kingdom and I was like, okay, so I love the originals. The newer ones I like.
Yeah.
I like the new ones. And watching this, I was blown away. It was so good. It was the first time. It felt like it was a really good marriage of the old and the new. It had, like, the music was really similar to the original series. It had a really good, scary, intimidating villain.
Oh, nice.
It had the tragedy, because all of those movies are tragic as hell. There's always got to be a tragic ending. Just incredible. So I really enjoyed it. And
brilliant.
I think it's so good, and I want to go back and watch the whole franchise again already. Yeah, highly recommend. Also go and watch the original franchise.
I think I need to watch like at least the first one because I've never seen it.
You need to watch the first one, and then you need to watch the second one, even though it's one of the worst in the franchise, but then you need to watch the third. And you need to watch the second to watch the third.
Okay. I think I will have to lock in.
Yeah. The others, you don't have to watch if you're not enjoying them, but at least those 3.
At least those ones.
Escape is just so good. Escape is also the funniest one.
I do love a funny
It's the one with the humor. And also, Ronnie McDowell is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love Roddy McDowell. Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 6.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
My number 5
might
surprise you. My number 5 is The Substance.
Oh, okay.
It seems low, but there's like a few up there that I like thoroughly enjoy and I had to lock in. I really liked The Substance. I got all these messages at work from Mike.
Oh no, I did a full-on spit take. I wasn't expecting you to call me out like that.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I'll be right back. Keep running. Keep
oh
going.
My god! Mike full on took a mouthful of water and then spat it like a dolphin across the table. Oh, wow.
God. I thought I was just like, we're being so sensible on this after what I missed. Did I get any on you? I'm sorry.
You literally did a perfect line across the table. It was
Oh,
so funny.
boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I can't believe I was also watching you with that.
Just don't know why I didn't expect you to
To call you out.
throw me under the bus.
Okay. So the bag as well. Okay, so I got all these messages one morning from Mike at work being like, there's this movie called The Substance and you need to watch The Substance. So literally that night, because he said you have to watch it before we record the podcast next because we have to talk about it.
Yeah.
So that night I booked a ticket at my closest movie theater and I really enjoyed it. It was scary. It was gross. But I think the grossness was important to it, but I also don't think it was like the scariest part. Like there were
No.
other aspects that were just creepy and unsettling. It was a good film.
Yeah.
And to me, more Sexiest Woman Alive.
Oh, God, yeah.
It was really, really, really good. And I'm glad to see that with the Golden Globes alone, it's been getting like the recognition it deserves.
Yeah.
Long may this last for the Oscars. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed that film and I thought it was different and fresh. And also surprised to see Margaret Qualley in like a kind of a scarier role because I feel like that's not her typical.
That was the first Margaret Qualley film I'd seen. I had no knowledge of her beforehand, and she nailed it. She was so good. You just made direct eye contact with me while drinking out of that glass, and I got frightened. It was a challenge.
You were that it was
Yeah.
across the table. I first saw Margaret Qualley in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then I'm pretty sure after that, the only thing I'd seen her in, she's in a TV series called Maid, which is a fantastic TV series. She's brilliant.
Maid
in it.
as in a person that cleans houses?
Yeah,
Or-
it's
okay.
based on a book written by this woman who she experienced domestic violence from the father of her daughter. And so it's about her life living in women's shelters and her mother, who in the TV series is played by Andie MacDowell, so Margaret Qualley's actual mother. And you know, her mother is quite like a bit of a bohemian lifestyle, so often leaves, and then she ends up becoming a cleaner. So she, you know, cleans. She starts off just cleaning houses, and she cleans a house for this rich woman in the TV series played by Regina King, I think. And then she ends up doing these like massive cleanings for hoarders. And it is a great TV series. It's really, really bleak and it can be really tough at times. But Margaret Qualley does an exceptional job. So highly recommend everyone watch that because she's a great actress.
Cool.
So yeah, that was my
Number 5.
5.
My number 5 is Smile 2.
Oh, I remember you really liked
Yeah.
this.
I'm gonna be honest, there is quite a lot of horror in my top 5
Yeah,
because
as there should be.
I mean, it is mostly what I go to see at the cinema is horror, right? It's the main thing I'm going to be interested to go see. Yeah, Smile 2 I thought was really cool. I really liked the first one. A lot of people didn't for some reason. I think that's
They don't know how to have fun.
very strange. And I thought Smile 2 was better than the first one. I thought that the lead actress, who I can't remember her name.
Oh, she's played by what's her name? I always get her confused with, is her name Naomi Scott?
Yes.
It
Yeah.
is. I always get her confused with somebody else.
She was phenomenal. She gives such a good performance. She's like she plays a pop star. She's sort of like a Ariana Grande or a Taylor Swift or like a big
pop star.
pop star. Sky Riley is the character's
Great
name.
name.
And she gives like she does a fantastic singing performance. She does some really cool music. She does scared really well. She plays trauma really well. She plays like that trying to live a normal life even though you're going through stuff really well. I thought it was so fun. I thought it was
Nice.
really fun. It made me jump a couple of times. It was good. I
Perfect.
enjoyed it. I really,
That's what you
really,
want.
I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to be perfectly honest. And even now talking about it, I'm just like, yeah, I want to watch it again.
You want to see it again.
Yeah,
I'm glad that I feel like I've talked about this before. I get her confused with Sophia Carson. That's the person I get her confused with. She looks like that. They're kind of similar.
I can see it. Yeah.
I've said it before, I haven't watched either of them, but I know my sister went to see I think both of them, and she speaks really highly of
Yeah.
them. Like properly good, scary films.
They're fun. I said this last time. It's trauma without. It's trauma and being fun at the same time.
Yeah.
You can do both, and
A
you can do
different
both
lens
well.
on trauma.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's your number 4?
I feel like this is going to be controversial for you. My number 4 is Challenges.
Mm.
I liked Challenges.
I know you did.
I went to see it on my own, and I thankfully wore a hoodie because I had to sit with my hood up with the strings tied around my face because I was just giggling the whole time. It made me a very giggly Gertie. And I really liked seeing Zendaya play an unspeakably rich, very dominant wife.
Yeah.
I think she really lent into that role well. And funnily enough, one of my favorite things that came out of it was actually Zendaya's outfits for the press and the red carpets.
Right.
After it, Law Roach is her stylist. And Law did a fantastic job on dressing Zendaya. Like everything was just perfect. And it really, I think that film and also like Barbie, when Barbie came out, really brought back this idea of like themed outfits for the main star that correspond to the film. So no, I really liked Challenges. I thought that it was I thought that it was interesting. I thought that the dynamic between the three of them, whilst it was like very horny and sexed up and everything, I thought that there was a really interesting dynamic between the three of them. And yeah, I particularly liked that film. And I also loved the soundtrack. Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, great soundtrack.
Yeah, Challenges is one of those ones that, you know how there are movies that you're like, you watch and then you think about and you're like, oh, it keeps getting better and better in my estimation of it. Challenges is the opposite for me.
Yeah.
Every time I think about it, I
You like it a little bit
I
less.
like it a little bit
Yeah.
less. So when we left, I think I gave it 3.5
Mhm.
stars, and I was tossing up between 3.5 and 3,
Mhm.
and I was like, I can't tell. And then I wrote a review, and the review was just all the things I disliked. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'll make it a 3.
Great.
And now I looked at it and I'm like, 3, that seems high. I did not like Challenges. I know a lot of people did, and then I'm
Yeah.
in the minority, but
No, it's fair.
I found it really boring. I thought it was awful people talking about a boring sport.
I think
And I really disliked the soundtrack as
You didn't
well.
like the soundtrack?
The soundtrack to me sounded like wanky advertisements for rich cars.
What I
Like,
think
just
was what I liked about it is I think it fit the theme very well. I also think it's a Luca Guadagnino, how do you pronounce the surname? Luca Guadagnino or whatever
Yeah.
film, and he also did Call Me by Your Name, and he's doing the film Queer with Drew Starkey and Daniel Craig, and he has a really odd relationship with like gay men, and you can tell just by watching Call Me by Your Name and some of the really odd shit he's said since. So I take that kind of stuff with like a grain of salt.
Yeah, well, a lot of people I saw were talking about how queer the film was and how it was, like, and I'm like, it's not.
I don't think it's good representation.
No, they like the two guys have a makeout at one point, but that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be about an actual like throuple, basically.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be more about bisexuality, and I don't know, it just wasn't queer enough for me. It just did nothing for me. But I know a lot of people loved it. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
But
Which is totally fair. And I think, yeah, it's he also did Bones and All. So he's a big Timothée Chalamet fan.
I also found all the slow-mo killed the tension completely for me. I'm like, why am I being a fucking tennis
You know
ball
that when
now?
you're a tennis ball,
Oh.
I had to shut my eyes, made me very ill, made
Yeah.
me very queasy. I've got a very like unsettled stomach, so anything like that will fuck me up.
It's just one of those movies that I'm sorry, I'm just shitting on a film
No,
that
it's
you really
fine.
liked, and I'm glad that
This
you
is
liked it.
no,
I'm
but this
sorry.
is the point of it is open for discussion.
It's one of those films, you know how there are those films that you're like, I disliked it, and I'm never going to think about it again, and it's fine. This is one of those films that I disliked, and every time I think about it, I get angry.
Yeah.
It's like fucking Tenet. Like,
I've never seen that movie and I
Oh,
won't
don't.
ever
It's,
watch it.
oh, my least favorite movie of all time.
Really?
Fucking awful.
Oh, God.
Dreadful film. I'm angry.
My least favorite film of all time is Blade Runner. I hated that.
Wow, okay.
I found it very uncanny and it made me nauseous.
That's one of Jared's favorites.
I went to see it on the big screen, and it really scared me. I didn't like how uncanny it was, and it left me feeling very angry.
I've seen it once. Jared and I watched it a couple of years ago, and it was the first time I'd seen it, and I need to watch it again because I feel like I don't really have a strong memory of it. I know I didn't dislike it. I know I had positive thoughts, but I just didn't. I think I need to watch it when I can connect with it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I understand not liking it.
Yeah, I just had a really visceral negative reaction towards it,
Yeah,
and I just refused to watch it again because it scared me.
fair enough.
The little fucking guy that makes toys. Fuck that dude. Anyway,
So that was your number 4?
that was my number 4. What's your number 4?
Heretic.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's purely because of Hugh Grant.
Yeah, he was fantastic in that
Purely,
film.
it could also be recency bias because I did see it quite recently and I had a great time.
It was a
but
good film.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed that film. It was also sufficiently funny.
Yeah, that's it. It's a funny horror, and it's just got this gadgets and
puzzles.
puzzles and like
You and I had a field day with that guy.
and it's, oh my God, a really good villain
Yeah.
played wonderfully by an actor who is outside of their type. Like
You
just
never know which way that film's
so
going to
cool.
go.
Yeah.
Also, it does mention Lana Del Rey's song Get Free, which is like my favorite Lana Del Rey song. So when he mentioned that, I nearly jumped out of my seat.
Yeah.
Felt like he was speaking directly to me.
Yeah.
No, it was a very fun film,
Yeah.
and I 100% would have fallen victim to him because I fucking love puzzles, and I'm a sucker for an old guy in a sweater.
That's I feel like, to be perfectly honest, it probably doesn't stand up.
Mm-hmm.
It
True.
does. It probably.
My thoughts exactly.
Yeah, it probably would not stand up to scrutiny. Like, if you really evaluated it with a, film degree or whatever, it's probably not as good as it is to me. But
But did I enjoy myself?
for me,
Fuck yeah.
surface level, I had a fun time,
Fuck yeah, I
fun
enjoyed
performances.
myself.
It was great. Yeah.
It was brilliant. I'm glad you said that because my number 3 was Heretic. That's actually perfect that I've just talked about that. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that film.
Yeah.
And my dad is not a horror watcher, but I'm trying to convince him to watch it because he is a really big religious history nerd. And I think that even though he doesn't like horror, I think he might enjoy that aspect.
Yeah, I made Cass watch it. She
Nice.
went to the cinema and watched it, and her letterbox review said something like, "Not as many puzzles as Mike led me to believe." Sorry, Cass.
What was your number 3?
My number 3, which we talked about last time on our last episode,
Mhm.
I saw the TV Glow.
Ah,
Very much the opposite of Heretic, which I'm like, don't investigate, don't just take it
no,
surface level.
this one
I-
should be investigated.
I saw the TV Glow is just so
This one
dense.
should be watched at. I know I haven't finished it, but I'm going to take a massive leap and say this one should be watched in like college and school and
It should
written
be.
about.
It could be studied. It's beautiful. It's so sad and so like it's one of those movies that the lights came up and I sat there destroyed for a little bit, and all the queer people I went with were like, oh my God.
Mhm.
And there are a couple of straight people who are like,
Oh.
okay,
Yeah,
I didn't get it. I didn't connect with it, but
and
I
that's
can
okay.
see,
Sometimes you're not meant to get it.
yeah, it's for queer people,
Mhm.
which is not to say straight people can't enjoy it because they did, but it is. They were like, I can tell that there's some layers to this that I
Yeah.
can't access, right? And it is if you're
That's
a
okay.
queer person who has struggled with anything about your sexuality or gender identity or anything like that, I feel like you're going to find something
Mm,
in this film to relate to, and it's
nice. Which is important. I think that that's really
it's
important.
an incredible film.
I absolutely love I talked about this when I think it was the first ever episode I talked about. I love Bridget Lundy Payne as an actor. I loved them in Atypical,
Hmm.
where they played main character's older sibling, Casey Gardner. And I just think, yeah, and I talked about this, and I didn't flesh it out as well as I wanted to, but I think that they have a really authentic way of going about roles where you can really believe that they are this person
Yeah.
that they're playing. And so I am very excited to finish this film.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one that I would like the experience of watching it again for the first time.
Yeah,
Oh,
one day
one day.
we'll wipe your brain and then
But I also feel like you can watch it and it'll probably just get deeper and resonate more the more you watch it, the more you
yeah,
pick up.
it's a beautiful choice.
What was your number two?
My number two was a film I enjoyed so much when I went to see this film. I also came away telling every single person to go watch it. I loved this film, and that was Monkey Man
Yes,
with
I
Dave
haven't seen
Patel.
it. We wanted to. That came out when we were in New York and we saw it
Yeah,
advertised everywhere, but we just couldn't get a chance to see it.
Dave Patel, who I think I've been calling Dev Patel, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Dave, um, is so, first of all, one of the sexiest men alive. I'm sorry, that man is
Yeah, he's
crazy
he's a
sexy.
he's a he's a
But
fuckable fella.
this film is just so brilliant. Like it's like it is a really good amalgamation of so many different things. Like it's a good action and it's got good moral, like it's got good plot behind it. And then there's this scene where he goes and seeks refuge at this temple that is also a place of sanctuary for trans women.
Mm.
And there's a proper term in like Indian culture for this.
Oh yeah, because I feel like talking out of my ass here,
What
but
is it?
as parts of Indian culture, like trans women they have like a specific cultural purpose or role,
Yes.
right?
And I'm going
Similar to like Fa'afafine.
or like
Or
Two-Spirit
yeah,
for
like it's
for
a
First Nations culture. Yeah,
apologies if that's incorrect. That's just what I've been led to understand from documentaries I've watched.
and I'm gonna see if I can find, yeah, so the temple is dedicated to um a a deity which is depicted as half male and half female, like equally split down the middle.
Yeah.
And this temple is essentially for the Hijra community, Hijra,
Yes.
which is transgender, intersex, or eunuch people that live in communities. And so this film is like, it's about Dave Patel's character, like honing in on everything that's happened to him and building that anger. And then the fight scenes in it are fantastically choreographed. There is a scene where Dave Patel stabs a man in his throat with a knife between his teeth while Rivers of Babylon by Boney M play in the
Oh my
background.
God.
And then at the end, when he's finally like confronting the villain of this story, and it's just like the villain tells Dave Patel, like, right, you've caught me, right? It's time to break the cycle of violence, after everything I've put you through, you need to spare me because it's time to break the cycle of violence. And to me, it's like, it's always the person that perpetuated that violence, that allowed it to continue, that suddenly decides that it's time to break the cycle. And you have to be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And you have to be the one to stand up and say no to violence. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You killed his mum, all right? It's fuck you.
Yeah.
And I think the fact that Dave Patel's character doesn't decide to take the high road. He decides to, sure, he stoops down to this guy's level,
Yeah.
whatever. To me, he deserves it,
Yeah.
right? Fuck you, you don't get to decide that it's time to break the violence just because you ended up with your back to the wall. So it is a really, really good film, and it's very well done, and I highly recommend that everyone watches it. It's so good.
Oh,
Everyone watch
I
Monkey
need to
Man.
see it.
It's also inexplicably sexy.
There was that one that I missed, and there was also, what was the other one that I missed? It was around the same time. It was like a fighting one, boxing or something. No, never mind.
Monkey Man has underground bare knuckle
Maybe that
boxing
is
in
what
it.
I'm thinking.
He starts off as an underground bare knuckle boxer that wears a monkey mask.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. That's all right.
Yeah, highly recommend. Mike, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Memoirs of a Snail.
Oh,
Memoir of a Snail.
beautiful.
I spoke about it before. It's just a plasticine movie by Adam Elliott, Australian filmmaker, and it's so touching and it's magical. Just watching these claymation puppets, it's magic. There's a kind of wizardry that goes on, and it's one of those ones where this is going to sound so wanky and pretentious,
No.
but there's some kind of like transference between like, the audience and the screen when there's claymation, and you're like, I know that these movements they're making are impossible and that they aren't real, but they are real, and
You want to believe it.
there's a really magical thing that happens with claymation films, and it's just so awesome.
I'm the world's biggest Wallace and Gromit fan.
Yeah,
I believe in claymation.
but also like Wallace and Gromit. I love Wallace and Gromit. I'm never gonna knock Wallace and Gromit, but it's fluffy, right? It's funny.
It's fun. It's all,
entertainment.
even like the villains are humorous.
Yeah, and it's the same with like Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. It's kids' entertainment that has jokes for adults, whereas it's just a movie. It's a movie.
It just happens to be
for
through the medium.
adults. It's a drama that has some funny bits in it, and it's just told. It's a beautiful, beautiful story told in a beautiful way.
Nice.
I loved it. Yeah.
I'm glad.
I really liked it.
Beautiful. My number 1.
Yeah.
If you guys listen to the Susan Sarandon episode, this will not come as a surprise. I know I watched this film recently, but I have not been able to stop thinking about this film since I watched it, and that is Jason Reitman's Saturday Night.
Yeah.
About the first episode of
I
Saturday
find
Night
that
Live.
surprising, actually. I knew you liked it. I didn't realize it was number one.
Really, really liked that film, and like I'm sure it won't be everyone's cup of tea, but I think I'm coming at it from the perspective of I have always been a really big Saturday Night Live fan, but like even though I found some of the comedy episodes funny, I just love the lore of it. I love the history behind it. I love when something has like tradition behind it, and the fact that I think I talked about this on the Susan Sarandon episode, the fact that a lot of terms of phrases originated out of Saturday Night Live. The term Debbie Downer originated out of the
Really?
Rachel Dratch skit Debbie Downer, like the running skit that she did.
Oh, okay.
That was the first usage of that term. And there's like a few more out there that I can't pull off the top of my head, but I love the history of it and everything that went into it. And my favorite scene from that whole movie is right at the end, seconds before like they're meant to go live, and they're all trying to scramble together. And this one guy's been like laying the bricks on the stage, because he's determined it's going to be real bricks, and he's been laying it, and the handymen have been refusing to help him. So finally they all muck in and they're helping him do it. And then you can see Chevy Chase with his sleeves rolled up, like paving bricks on the stage. And whether or not that actually happened, it's just the idea of everything that went into bringing this to life and how little faith anyone had in it to what it's become today.
Yeah.
And knowing like some of the greatest comedians, Gilda Radner, Jane Curtin, Lorraine Newman, like the greatest comedians.
Amy Poehler, Tina Fey.
Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Fred Armisen, even Jimmy Fallon. That's where he started out with
Will
his
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest people of all time. To today's cast, like I think Marcelo Hernandez is hilarious. Colin Jost. I think Jane Wickline, who's just joined. I think absolute world of Jane Wickline. I thoroughly enjoy this film. I think this film was specifically made for me, and if nobody else liked it, it's probably because you're not me.
Yeah, I feel like it is a very LC coded movie.
I think I transferred my thoughts to Jason Reitman because my favorite movie of all time is Jason Reitman's film Juno, that was written by Diablo Cody. So I think Jason Reitman and I have a very special connection, and he knew that this is what I needed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 1.
Lovely.
Mike, what's your number 1?
Oh, it could be nothing else. It's The Substance.
Yes, I
It's got to be The
knew.
Substance.
I
There's
knew it would be.
no other possibility that it could be. One of the best movie viewing experiences I have had was the first time I saw it. I like honestly, I went in so tired and I left so energized
Yeah.
because it was just so fun.
I'm so glad.
The audience reaction was just some of the best. Uh, so yeah, it's got to be The Substance. It is
Beautiful.
the best movie going experience I've ever had, which knocked out my first place like best movie experience going ever I had.
Okay.
What happened? The prior to this, the
Yeah.
best movie going experience I'd ever had was going to see Paranormal Activity, the first one,
Really?
because look, here's my thing with Paranormal Activity. Okay,
Okay.
you cannot watch those movies at home
No.
and click with it. You cannot watch it with a group of friends in a brightly lit room
No.
and be like, yeah,
You
great.
need full immersion.
You need the lights off in a cinema with a whole bunch of people equally in tuned to the film as you are.
Yes.
That's when it works.
100%.
And because watching that in the cinema was one of the scariest things I have ever seen. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Because everyone was so into it and there were like little screams and gasps. That's why that was the best, because the energy in the room was crackling. But yeah, the Substance has beaten that out.
I frequently, my sister and I have a bit of a history of going to see horror films in the cinema, because I think horror films are best
Yeah.
watched in the cinema. And I remember we went to see this year The Strangers Part 1, which is like a remake of the 2008 film The Strangers.
That's Liv Tyler, right?
Yeah, the original's Liv Tyler. This remake is Madeleine Petsch, who's a great actress. She's in Riverdale, but she's actually a really great actress. And the remake is like not good. Like objectively, it's not good. But we went to see it, and it has the same kind of tension and jump scares as that. And people in the cinema were screaming. And there is something about being in a dark room filled with strangers and just screaming like in fear. It is. I wish that I hadn't been as young as I was when Paranormal Activity came out, because I'm sure that is best served in a cinema.
And I get so annoyed because you see all these comments being like, Paranormal Activity is boring. And I'm like,
No, it's not.
it's not under the right circumstances.
That was the scariest film to me when I was a kid. I remember there
Yeah.
was like nobody thought there was a film scarier than that.
No. And I still think it works. I think number 2 is also very good.
Okay.
And then it's just
Downhill from
it's just not great after that. But
No, The Substance was a great experience. I was the youngest person in my cinema by 24
Yeah.
years. But it was a really good, like, it was yuck.
yeah, it was gross. It's a grotty film.
My stomach turned like numerous times.
One of my favorite images of that is feeling like Jared look away at the tooth, one of the tooth bits. He looked away, and then I looked down, and the woman directly in front of me had her eyes over her face, and then I see
Her eyes over her face.
Yeah, shut up. Her hands over her eyes, and then catching movement out of my peripheral and seeing a woman fleeing the cinema all in like a second. It was so
That was
good.
me with the fingernail scene in the elevator.
Yeah.
I put my head in my lap and like covered my head. It was I couldn't do it.
My face hurt from smiling throughout that because I was just having a ball.
It was a gross film, but it was so well done.
It has to be, yeah. So that's my number 1 film for the year.
Great list, Mike.
Thank you. Great list, LC.
Thank you. I think we should talk about our honourable mentions. We've picked 5 that may not have come out in 2024. But we saw it for the first time in 2024.
That's it. So the example, we were saying that if we watched Casablanca for the first time this year, this could be an honourable mention.
I will go out and say, before we get started, all 5 of my films came out in 2023.
Yeah. Because that was the original brief. I'm the one that changed it.
No, and that's fine. I think your version is just as valid. What I will say is a lot of the time, like I prefaced at the start, a film might have come out in 2023 in the States, but you only could see it for the first time in 2024 in New Zealand. But Mike, because I started last time, do you want to go first with your number 5?
So my number 5 that I've got on my list is A Night to Remember from 1958. So it was like one of the first, it was like the sort of, before 1997, it was the Titanic film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was black and white, and I've always been wanting to watch it because I'm a big Titanic obsessive. And so it was really good. I really enjoyed it, based on Walter Lord's book, of the same name, I think, and I love that book.
Fantastic.
So yeah, there was one that I've always wanted to watch, so I finally got around to it this year.
Brilliant. My number 5 is the film Late Night with the Devil
Yeah,
with David Dastmalchian.
it's not on my list, but it was very close to being.
It was really fun. Now, unfortunately, this is a film that uses AI. Minimal, but it still did it, so I have to talk about it. That was a fun horror film. I really liked the setup. I liked that it was a late night show where things were going wrong. It was actually very scary because everything had that canned laughter over the top of it, or the feeling
Yeah.
of canned laughter. And because it was meant to be set in the 70s, all of the effects were 70s style effects. They were very corny, they were very campy, very cheesy, and they were brilliant. I really liked that film. I thought it was sufficiently scary and a little bit weird at the
Yeah.
end there, but it was a good film. I think David Dastmalchian did a great job.
He was very good on that.
He's very good.
The whole thing was so fun.
I liked that film.
That's a cool concept.
Yeah. Mike, what's your 4?
Trying to think of how I want to do this. Yeah. Number 4 from 2023, All of Us Strangers, starring Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott. Yeah.
Cried my eyes out.
Such a sad film. Honestly, apart from the last 15 minutes, a perfect film.
I genuinely sat there at the end once the credits had rolled with my head in my hands, feeling utterly devastated by that film. I didn't see the plot twist of Paul Mescal coming. And I know that makes me sound quite naive. I didn't see it coming, and I'm glad that I didn't.
I think it's because it wasn't telegraphed very well. I don't think the plot twist works.
Okay.
But I think everything else about the film is perfect. It would have been a 5-star rating for me, and the last 15 minutes took it down to a 4-star rating.
I see. I'm on the opposite side of it. I liked the plot twist, and I also think that there's a way that this film is shot, and it just it's done so well. It makes Andrew Scott seem so alone.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit scary because you look at it and you're like, fuck, this guy is so alone.
Yeah.
Like, apart from the club scene, there's just never anything around. And it's so bleak and so frightening. I absolutely adored that film.
Yeah. Also, Paul Mescal does come off Andrew Scott's chest.
You can't even talk to me about it.
It is one of the sexiest things.
I was shaking.
It was
the scene in the bath.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was shaking.
Oh.
That film is so sexy. Also, I made my mum watch it.
Yeah.
Right. And she really wasn't she was getting into it, but then she wanted to go to bed and she still had the last 15 minutes to go. And I said, tomorrow when you've got some time, sit down and watch the rest of it. And she texted me and she was like, I'm really glad I finished that film.
Yeah.
And it's a great film.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
What was your number 3?
It's actually my number 4.
I went first. What was your number 4?
My number 4 was Society of the Snow.
What? I have not heard of this.
Oh my God, it's a Spanish language film about the 1978 Andean plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
So a Uruguayan rugby team.
Yes, I've heard about this.
In the Andes. And the film is about them. If you watch it on Netflix, it's dubbed in English.
Yeah.
And it's about them, obviously the plane crashing in the Andes and how they survive or don't survive. And it is unbelievable. I talk about All of Us Strangers leaving me sitting there completely devastated. So did this film.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable.
It's a harrowing story.
The scene that depicts the plane crash is one of the scariest non-horror scenes that they don't spare any details.
Oh, God.
It is unbelievable. And I was sat there in my lounge like, what the hell? And because obviously if you know the story, there are some people that survive. And at the end, they're in the hospital. And one of them, their mum, is hugging them and being like, it's a miracle, it's a miracle. And he replies, what miracle? because to him, to everyone, they lost everything out there.
Yeah.
It is so bleak, but just their ability to have this. There's a certain point where they look at each other and they just decide that they're not going to die.
Yeah.
And there's a fantastic scene where one of them has a radio and they're listening to the radio, and unfortunately they hear the announcement that the police has called off the search for them.
Right.
And you see everyone just kind of like lose it. And then one of them's like, this is actually great news. And they're like, how the fuck is this great news? And he's like, because this means that we're going to save ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's that mindset. So where the fuck do you pull that from? So it is an incredible film. I recommend.
Okay.
I recommend it to a lot of people. And it is a very bleak watch, but it's also, people talk about like the indomitable human spirit.
Yeah.
That's it.
What was it called again?
The Society of the Snow.
Society of the Snow. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. I think it did quite well in award season. I think it did quite well at the Oscars. I can't remember, but not as well as I'd hoped it would. But
Oh.
I would have given it every single Oscar it had. And also, I believe majority of the actors are relative newcomers.
Okay.
And another cool thing, the actual survivors who are still alive today play cameo roles.
Oh, lovely.
So if you like look in the background, you'll see a few of them dotted around. So Society of the Snow is a brilliant film.
That sounds really good.
It's very good. Mike, what's your third?
My third, May December from 2023.
I haven't seen it still, and I really want to.
Yeah, I mean it's very like Notes on a Scandal,
Which
similar
is
thing.
exactly what I want to
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore are both phenomenal actresses in their own right,
Mhm.
and they're both very attractive women.
Yes.
And they know exactly what the tone of the film is,
Yeah.
which is scandalous and gossipy and bitchy, and it's good. It's
Magic.
a good film. I have nothing else I can say about it. I just had
I
a great
can't-
time watching it. It's a good film.
I can't wait to see it one day. I've been wanting to watch it for a really long time.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where you're like, this is a high camp movie with some excellent performers in it,
Good.
and excellent performers giving excellent performances, which
Yeah.
sounds silly, but you know,
But that's what it is.
that's what it is.
Brilliant.
Loved it. Yeah. What is your third?
My third is The Iron Claw.
I was wondering if this was going to be on your list somewhere. I thought it was a 2024 film.
It's 2023.
Wow.
I watched it in 2024,
Okay.
but it's 2023 technically. Uh, on the subject of movies that left me feeling utterly devastated, so I made the mistake of seeing this film with my sister.
Well,
Watching it with your siblings is really tough. The credits rolled and I literally had my head in my hands. I spent the latter half of that film sobbing my eyes out.
oh God.
Like fully sobbing. The only time I've ever cried harder in cinema is when I went to see the third Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Okay.
The woman next to me in the cinema was hyperventilating.
Oh wow.
I had to, when I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I had to shut my eyes at one point because I just couldn't stop crying. I was very, very sad. But this one, the Iron Claw, I literally was on par with that. I was just sobbing my eyes out. And Zac Efron did an incredible job. Because the three like biggest players in there is Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and then Harris Dickinson, who's about to be in Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman. They just did an exceptional job. And the thing that just kept getting me about Iron Claw was how it was a fucking true story.
Yeah.
And it was just devastation after devastation. And then you think, I read about it later. There was another brother they didn't include in the film because the directors just decided that it was too sad as it was.
God.
And they genuinely couldn't do another one. Like it was the most horrific film, but it was so expertly done. And there is a scene where they're in like, I guess, the other side, right? Like, you know, the fields of barley or whatever it is. And the brothers that have passed over there, and then they find their eldest brother who was only a toddler when he passed away, and it's just incredible. But the ultimate scene is at the end where Zac Efron is watching his sons like pass a football back and forth, and he's crying, and his sons are like, "Dad, why are you crying?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, I'm just sad." They're like, "Why are you sad?" And he's like, Well, I used to be a brother, and it's I used to. Like, what the fuck do you mean? It's the most unbelievable line to ever utter, and also, yeah. So seeing it with your sister fucking
Oh God.
really puts things into perspective. I'll tell you that for free. But it was incredible.
Shout out to Michaela.
Shout out to Michaela. Not really. I don't want you to think I like her or anything. Um, but I haven't been able to see it since. I've only watched it once. I think I will at some point get the courage to watch it again.
I do have a soft spot for Zac Efron.
He's
I was really put off by this because it's a sports film, and I don't like sports films, but I know that this one is worth watching, so it is.
the sport is so it's obviously all about sport because that's the ultimate
Yeah.
like downfall really. Well, actually the father's the downfall, he's the villain. But sports doesn't factor as heavily, but like
People do say that about challenges as well.
well, no. The passion for the sport and like what they're willing to do for it features heavily in this. Iron Claw is brilliant if you're ready to be utterly devastated. I also feel very sorry because I went to see it in a very small cinema, and I think everyone else in the cinema was quite old, and I was just sitting there like
Oh.
in the corner. So no, I could write essays on Iron Claw. Love Iron Claw.
Good.
What was your
Number two.
number two?
You're gonna love me.
Oh my God.
My number two, Fargo, 1996.
Ah!
I'd never seen it before. It was my first watch. Obviously, we discussed it for the Steve Buscemi
One
episode.
of the greatest films of all time.
Really good film.
To me, the perfect film.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I want to watch it again. Again, I feel like it's one of those ones that you get more and more out of it the more you watch
I've
it.
watched it so many times. I'm pretty sure it's on TVNZ On Demand or TVNZ Plus,
Yeah.
whatever it's called now. And so sometimes I'll just put it on.
Have you ever seen, because obviously I got you the Fargo display, which is sitting next to you. Have you ever seen the TV series? Because I really struggled. I've only seen the film once. And so when I was looking for a Fargo display for you,
A lot of
I
it's TV
wasn't
series.
sure what was the TV series and what was the
I
movie.
haven't watched it, but I've heard brilliant things about it. Like apparently it's. Do you know my favorite fact about the Fargo TV series?
What?
Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead met on that TV series, and he started an affair with her
Gracious me.
and ended up leaving his wife for her.
Gracious me.
So there's some power of Fargo, right?
Do you want to know my? This is not related to anything, but do you want to
I wanna
hear
hear it.
one of my interesting celebrity gossip
Yes.
that I heard recently? Zac Efron. So there's a celebrity Tinder, apparently.
Raya.
Yeah, you have to be invited onto it.
Raya, yes.
Yeah.
And you have to have an Instagram so
Yeah.
they can verify your photos and see if you're good enough for it.
Yeah. So apparently, Zac Efron met someone on this Tinder, Raya, and had a one night stand with them. And this person, this was years ago, this person, Scary Spice, Melanie Brown. Apparently they had a one night stand.
Mel B.
Mel B. Obviously, I have no. This could be completely made up. This is just a rumor that I've heard.
I heard a rumor recently that Mel B and
Liam Payne were also a thing for a while, apparently.
yes, that's
Yeah.
correct. Mel B and Ginger Spice and Jerry Halliwell.
Really?
Mel B said in an interview that she and Jerry Halliwell like hooked up
Wow.
while they were still in the band together. That's what I heard.
Wow.
That is what I love celebrity gossip. That's like after films, it's my favorite thing. I know like a stupid amount of stuff that I would never ever need to know
Yeah.
about celebrities. I just think it's so interesting. Celebrity culture is wild.
Anyway, what's your number two?
Yeah, what were we talking about? Fargo's great. My number two is The Holdovers.
Ah, yes, I've still not seen it, but it is
It's a Christmas
it
film.
is there ready for me to watch this season.
Yes,
I'm
it is
going
a
to watch it.
great Christmas film. Paul Giamatti,
I just haven't had the time to watch it because it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
it's a bit
or
of a
something,
longie,
so-
but
David Longy?
it's a bit of a David Longy. Paul Giamatti is brilliant in this as like the classic sort of like history teacher. He's so grumpy, but like he's so brilliant in it. And Davine Joy Randolph
Yeah.
as she's obviously the school chef, but she's also grieving the loss of her son in the war. And then Dominic Sessa is just he's so excellent in this because he's such a little shit. but then he's not, and then it is such a brilliant film. It is such a good Christmas film. It is so sad and so lovely, and Paul Giamatti has so many quotable moments. I highly recommend everyone watch The Holdovers. It is fantastic. My sister and I took my mum to see it at, I think it was Christmas time. No, it had to have been the early New Year this year. But it is absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
It is a fantastic film
I'm excited to watch it, and I'll let you know what
because
I
it's
think.
so like obviously like boarding school, so classic, like
Yeah.
so I think you would really like it.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your number one?
My number one. So it's a film from 2017.
Mhm.
If it had come out in 2024, it would be the top of my watching list for the year. It would beat out The Substance.
Really?
It is a Japanese film.
Oh, you've told me about
It's
this.
called One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah.
It is a Japanese horror film, and I do not want to say anything more about it.
I still haven't seen it, and Mike has been like, "You're not allowed to like Google it or
No.
read the Wikipedia," and I still haven't. I refuse to.
Yeah, no, you
Till I see it.
need to watch it, and like, you need like, if you start it, please, for the love of God, finish it.
Yeah.
Don't let the first however long, do not let it put you off.
Mhm.
If you start it, trust me,
Finish it.
finish it. You also don't even have to really be a horror fan.
It's just a good
It's
film.
just, please, for the love of God, everyone watch it. I love it so much.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it.
Beautiful.
What's your number one?
All of Us Strangers.
Wow, look at that.
I really liked All of Us Strangers. I mean, I talked about it before. Utterly devastating, but so well done.
Yeah,
And I think it was like, even though it was totally devastating, it was also gentle in places. The scene where Andrew Scott has meal with his parents,
oh,
and he ends up kind of parenting his mum.
oh,
I was fucking
oh
devastated
my God.
when she asks, like,
Does it hurt?
did it hurt? And he's like, no, no. And he can't break it to her. Soul destroying moments. Real, like, I went to cinemas on my own to see this one, and I'm glad that I had the ability to
Yeah.
just kind of sit there and like take it all in. Yeah, the scene where he parents his parents
Oh,
at
for me, it's
the
this-
diner.
The scene where he comes out to his parents, that's the one that oh,
When he talks to his dad and he's like, "If you heard me crying,
yeah,
why didn't you do anything?" And then his mum doesn't know how to take it, and it is so
Oh.
English parents for that time period. Devastating.
Oh God, yeah.
Ashley and his dad, oh my God. Oh my God, and also the scene where he's like in his parents' bed and he says like his mum asks like what happened after like who did you go live with? And he was like, I live with Granny. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she gets really upset because she's like, why did she get to parent you? Like, why did she get to raise you and I didn't? And I was like, right, I'm gonna have to leave.
It's a
Gonna have
heartbreaker.
to pause
It's a
the film.
heartbreaker of a film.
It is,
Oh.
there are so many moments where it's just like those devastating things that you wouldn't naturally think
Yeah.
of. But it's just such like, obviously, like I'm not a parent or anything, but her asking that, like, why did she get to raise you and I didn't? It's like that must be such a natural parent thing to
Yeah.
want. Like you know, fuck life for how it played out. Like, oh my God, everyone stop what you're doing and watch All of Us Strangers.
So people listening have homework to do.
You have a lot of homework to do, and you have to report back to us. Also, I am going to turn my list, both my top 10 and my oral mentions, into a list on Letterboxd.
Nice.
So if anyone wants to go check it out, you go ahead and check that out. I do love a list.
Can you do it? Can you pop mine in there as well?
Yes, of course I can.
Great.
Mike and Elsie's.
Yeah, I don't want to do my own.
No, of course. You'll be able to find them there. So if you want to check out those lists, you can find me on Letterboxd at DixieNormus69, DIXIENORMOUS 69.
And I won't do lists, but you can find me on. I shan't be doing a list. I couldn't possibly. You can find me on One Hat Matter, ONEHATMADDER. That is also me on Instagram.
And if you want to keep up to date with us, you can find us on Instagram at the Silver Fox Office, or you can email us thesilverfoxoffice@gmail.com.
Yeah. So have a happy new year, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our bonus episode.
A bonus episode. Stay safe over the holiday season.
And we look forward to more and more films in
More good films in
2025.
2025. I'm so excited.
Shout out to Steve Buscemi.
Shout out Shibuya.
Shout out to Steve Buscemi.
Harder. Also, I told Mike not too long ago, when I edit, the software always thinks we say Shibi Shimmy.
Shibi Shimmy.
That's what they think we're saying.
Shibi
So
Shimmy.
shout out Shibi Shimmy and Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi.
Write that down.
See if that works.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.